takeaways? I have a couple.
My takeaway. Man, sometimes I really hate Dumbledore. There is such an admiration and an aberration at the same time, you know, because he's so thoroughly frustrating. You know how smart he is, and you know, like, you get to know how smart he is, and you get to know how much he actually knows, and you're like, how can you be putting the children through this kind of stuff, you know, knowing what you know? And yeah.
Right, because we didn't talk about the fact that one of the questions Harry asked was, do you know who gave me the invisibility cloak? And Dumbledore's like, oh yeah, your father happened to leave it in my possession when he and happened to leave it in my possession when he died, and I thought you might like to have it. Just so that's funny that you abhor. Your takeaway was that you abhor Dumbledore, when mine is, in this chapter, you really get a glimpse into Dumbledore's personality. His personality is so playful all the time. And it's always, he's always teaching.
Yeah.
So like, at one point when they're talking about it and Ron's like, do you think he did this on purpose? And Hermione's like, that's terrible. You could have been killed. Then Harry's like, you know what? I kind of think he wanted to give me a chance. I think he knew I was going to do it. And I think he taught us just enough where we would be okay. Like,
but dude, their first year.
That's what I was going to say, which on the one hand is classic friggin' Dumbledore, because that's what he does. But on the other hand, these are 11-year-old children who could have been killed. Under your care.
Aberration right there.
Under your care, at the safest place there is besides Gringotts. Oh, and by the way, Voldemort's been on campus all year in Quirrell's turban.
Yeah. All year. And remember, okay, now that we know this, remember the Weasley twins bounced snowballs off of Quirrell's turban.
Oh, Voldemort was probably in there mad and couldn't do anything about it. He was probably in there just brewing. Oh, okay. My other takeaway, I have two more. My other takeaway is, again, and I say this pretty much every chapter, is how they solidify as a trio even more every single chapter. And I think the biggest show of that, in addition to like Ron and Hermione hanging out together, Hermione taking care of Ron, them getting out, doing all of that, them being with Harry no matter what, was Ron being like, you got to come to the house this summer, and tells Hermione, you too, I'll send you guys letters. Like, now Hermione is, because remember, Ron couldn't stand her at first. She was Miss Bossy Know-It-All. He was the reason she was in the bathroom when the troll came, crying her eyes out. Like, and now it's, you got to come too, Hermione. We all got to be at my house this summer. Let's hang out, guys. Which is beautiful.
That's what happens when you fight across a chessboard and
when you all almost die together. Oh, also, one of my favorite lines of Dumbledore's from this chapter is when he says, well, naturally, what happened in the dungeons is top secret, so the whole school knows.
And this is in reference to all of the lovely snacky gifts that Harry got in the hospital.
Everything. Because even like when Ron got his points, he said, Harry said he could overhear Percy telling the other prefects, "That's my brother, the youngest brother there. He beat McGonagall's life-size chess set." Like, why y'all know everything that's going on? So naturally, the whole school knows because it's top secret. But my third and final takeaway, and my very favorite thing about this chapter,
do tell,
is Neville's 10 points that takes Gryffindor over the top. And Harry even mentions that Neville has not gotten 1 point for Gryffindor the whole entire year he's been there. And so for Neville to get the 10 points that takes it over the top is one of the most beautiful things. And again, it's an insight into Dumbledore because Dumbledore knew. Dumbledore knows everything that's happening. And so
that's the aberration moment.
It absolutely is. And so giving Neville that last 10 points to be the points that put them over the top, and him getting hugged and dogpiled on by the whole entire house when nobody helped him get upstairs from the library with his legs bound together. Neville's had a rough year, and that is a beautiful end to Neville's year, I think.
Agreed.
Oh, all right. You ready?
Yeah. Is it time to make magic?
It is time to make magic.